Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of r// Tales from Tech Support. In today's episode, Tier 1 equals HELPDESK in this case. Forget it, Jake, it's Lawyer Town. Customer demanding higher ping for their games. Best day of my career so far. I think I see the problem. Before we get started, make sure to subscribe so you will never miss a video. So let's get started. Tier 1 equals HELPDESK in this case. This just happened to me and needed to vent. I had received a service ticket that the HELPDESK had received to install a software package. SCCM Software Center, which we use for all installations, had gone to failed status. Strike 1, they didn't click the failed and give us the detailed error message. In this case, it didn't also include an error code. Strike 2, their procedure is to get the c:\windows/ccm/logs/appenforce.log and attach it to the ticket, so we, Tier 2, can investigate before interrupting the client for access to the machine. Yes, they even have a script for doing this. Strike 3, I was able to connect to the virtual computer, confirmed it failed, and gather the log. Then I checked the system's uptime, over 8 days. I am glad I was working remotely from home and not on the phone. I rebooted the OS, and it installed the program without any issues. Needless to say, I also followed my procedure and notified my manager, who will bring it up to their manager. And hopefully we'll see some time where they follow their procedure before we have another set of people due to turnover at their end and start this all again. Forget it, Jake, it's Lawyer Town. So, my friend that I posted about 2 days ago was back at it today, and attempting to work from home, as they have done many times before. They must have suffered a head injury since Tuesday, when they used it last, because the steps completely fled their mind. These are verbatim copies/pastes from our exchange. I'm only changing the names. When working from home, what is my username? Is it the same as computer login? No, your email and computer passwords are unrelated. I attached my steps for logging in. It wants firstname.last name and your email password. For some reason, I can't get in. What happens when you try it? My catchphrase. It's in my email signature. I get back a screenshot saying pulse timed out waiting for user input. Timeout means you didn't enter anything in. I sent the steps to get in, how far do you get? It's saying my credentials are not correct, but they are. If it says they're wrong, then they're wrong. There aren't other reasons for it to give that message. Your password was entered wrong 5 times, and it locked. It wants your email password. My email password is the same one I used to log in on my computer. Remember when I said they were different? And I attached my illustrated steps describing the logon process? No, that's a different account. I guess something finally clicked because I didn't hear from them again. Customer demanding higher ping for their games. I work for a large-scale ISP in the United States. I work on anything residential, but also offer technical support for small businesses and enterprises. This happened around a year ago. I work in the chat department and I got a chat. There was a guy who chatted in and gave his details. He stated he was having speed issues. I looked at his modem, everything looked fine, and so we decided to run a speed test. The speed test was indicating he was getting great speed and had a ping of 10. With modems, any ping from 5 to 50 milliseconds is considered great. He then proceeded to tell me he lagged in his online games. He was hardwired from his Xbox into the modem. We ran speed tests on the Xbox as well, and it was showing very similar numbers to what we were getting with his PC. I told him there shouldn't be an issue, and he should try rebooting the Xbox or taking it to Microsoft since it's a third-party device and is part of our demarcations for obvious reasons. He was convinced it was our connection was the issue and not his Xbox and wanted higher ping. I explained to him what higher ping will do, and that it would make the lag worse, but he didn't believe, and was going off what his friends were telling him. I get that some games lags can actually help, extremely rare. He then threatened to leave the company if he doesn't get higher ping. So I asked if he wanted to be on a lower plan that could make his ping higher. He said yes. We got him from 250 megabits per second download / 10 megabits per second upload to 50 megabits per second download and 5 megabits per second upload. We tested his connection, and there was a higher ping due to the amount of devices connected. He thanks me and tells me I should get a raise and hangs up. To this day I still check up on that account every month or so, and he has yet to change his speed back to the speed he had before. I guess all he wanted was higher ping after all. Best day of my career so far. Background: I let this large retail company employ me for about 8 years. Worked my way up from a lowly high school intern in IT security, through college, and eventually became a CISSP with a decent title. Growing to know most people in IT while I was there. I had just finished with implementing the identity and access management tool for all corporate and retail employees, and received a job offer to double my salary at a different company. It was a tough decision. I didn't want to leave my coworkers with a system that only I had just implemented, so I asked to start in a month. 2 weeks of documentation and system administration go by, and it turns out the application was nearly flawless. Except one thing. Employees were termed in the morning of their last day. Simple fix: changing A equals to in a database script for querying users to disable. So I put in for a change request, and we have to wait 2 weeks to implement because this system is considered to be Tier 1. With a sole IT person running it. Anyway. That's scheduled to be implemented on the Thursday in 2 weeks. I submit my 2 weeks for this new job, and my VP was very happy for me to find somewhere that could pay me what I'm worth. The day of my last change control, word had gotten around I was leaving. We review the changes as normal, talking about procedures for implementation, testing, validation, and backout. My change comes up. $Me, this high-risk change is to fix a problem where employees are terminated the morning of their last day. Yada yada. $CCB_admin, I noticed you left the validation procedures blank. Surely this requires validation. $Me, the only way to test is upon employee termination, so I guess I'll find out Friday morning if it worked. And the room just erupted with laughter. I really loved working with those people. My current job is more stressful but better experience, and pay to boot. I think I see the problem. Weekend. I was relaxing in a nice hot tub when Super VIP calls me. Critical person, doing critical stuff, part of the job to support him. Even if he is pissed and cussing up a storm. He is working from home and his computer doesn't work. VPN drops the tunnel every few minutes and Zoom stutters and lags like a drunken foghorn leghorn. I get out, dry off and remote into his laptop, an 8th Gen i5 with 12 GB of RAM, and an mini drive that is indeed dog slow. Load up speed test. 133 milliseconds ping, download speed 8, upload 1.2. Drop into PowerShell and get the gateway information. UVerse with a 50/12 connection and 19 wireless devices, half of which are reporting 1 bar of Wi-Fi. 50/12 with 19 devices that include streaming security cameras, several Macs and iPads, and 1 Wi-Fi access point in a 7,000 square foot ranch. Quick check of the UVerse page, nothing faster in that area, though he has had UVerse for at least a decade. It isn't often that I can tell somebody that Xfinity will solve their problem, but Xfinity is going to solve his problem. I loaded the page remotely for him, and hooked him up with the sales chat person. Gig speed with multiple Wi-Fi APs. Let's try to get that ping below 100, shall we?